Whether we look at the MSCI World Index, the S&P 500, so a measure of world stocks or U.S. stocks, basically everything fell 34% between February 23rd, 2020, when the crisis began, and March the 23rd, 2020, when support plans from the world's central banks and treasuries emerged. Liquidity was essentially guaranteed, the threat of bankruptcy was pushed off, and people started to revalue stocks on that basis. We've had a V-shaped recovery in the United States in particular. Over 2/3 of what was lost in that brief period has now been earned back. So the recovery was strongest in the United States, though, because about 40 to 50% of that index is technology and communications related. And for a very, very long period of time, almost a decade, a premium has been paid for these stocks. Right? These are the leadership stocks because they've really changed society. And that change, I think, has been reinforced by the events around working from home caused by COVID-19. These companies are some of the world's largest. They have the most predictable earnings. They have entrenched franchises, high-quality balance sheets. They don't really need a lot of strong growth in the world, as we've seen, for them to achieve their goals. Other companies do. These are value companies, resource companies that need a better pulse in the real economy, and that awaits, people getting back to work in a more normal life. Other indices outside of the United States tend not to be dominated by technology and communications, and tend to have a bigger bias towards things like value and resources. That's why the U.S. has led. Now from here, the U.S., fairly valued or fully valued, it really needs to post earnings to give us much upside. So we're fairly neutral on that market. Outside of the United States, because these had not led for a long time, we see much more favorable valuation conditions and eventually prospects for better total returns from markets outside the United States. And from time to time, that would include Canada. But I think that awaits firmer conditions in the real economy.